Spore fans, this is Xuli Bone Shino, and welcome to another video game update. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded anything on YouTube. Xuli's been working and studying and cooking and exercising and working and cooking and studying and working. You know, the usual Shino things. Oh, before I forget, Xuli has also gotten into a little of this.
Overdrive ready.
And this. I am the strongest one. I am the strongest one. And just looks. Anywho, today's video game update is a special tribute to Spore's creepy and cute parts. Today, Spore fans, we're going to learn how to create Scratcher, this fierce and intimidating red raptor creature that is also very terrified of a smaller blue creature. Anywho, why don't we get started? Alright, why don't we begin by finding a shape that matches closely to Scratcher's body. Alright, this seems pretty good. Now let's go add a few vertebrae at the end. Good. Now let's go ahead and flesh the shape of that tail. Alright, now let's begin repositioning the spine. Excellent. Now let's go ahead and grab a macabre jaw mouthpiece. Place this on the top end of Scratcher's body. And go ahead and angle it downwards. Excellent. Alright, let's move on to limbs. Let's go ahead and grab a pair of meekling arms. Place these by the chest and where his furcula would be. And let's go ahead and adjust the ball points and the scale of his muscles. Alright, now let's go ahead and grab a couple of Cali pigeon legs. This first one, we're going to scale the thighs down a little bit and then just drag it and copy over. Alright, after a few adjustments, let's begin putting some details. These are ibis eyes. Go ahead and angle them downwards. We want him to look intimidating and fierce, so let's make sure they're pretty narrow. Alright, good. Now let's go ahead and grab a pair of death claws. Place these on top of the hands that came with our meekling arms, and go ahead and scale those hands up close to the size of Scratcher's face. Make a few adjustments if you need to. Now let's grab a couple pairs of death talons. Go ahead and put the first pair in the front. Now we're going to scale these up and lengthen them to match the size of Scratcher's head. Afterwards, we will drag and copy them over to the back. Good. Now go ahead, rotate those feet outwards so there's no clipping from the front feet. Good. Now let's go ahead and start adding details. Let's grab a whisker tickler from the detail menu and place this on top of Scratcher's head. We're going to scale it up, copy, and drag another pair behind it after. There you go. Go ahead and rotate these inward. And now your Scratcher is styled. Grab a desk spike and scale these out a little bit. And now we're going to butterfly these open. We're going to use one of my favorite tricks in this game. Hold A for symmetry and start separating like so, and then have them centered. The reason I do this on some of my creatures is because if you take this creature out into a mode like Captain Creation mode, you'll be able to put in more parts, which means there's more space for details. Alright, enough of that. Go ahead and angle the spikes so it lines up with the curvature of Scratcher's neck. This part may take a while. Good, now your Scratcher is more fierce looking. Alright, why don't we grab a carotene horn, rotate this backwards, and pull the tip back as well. We're going to also scale these down a little bit too, and then we're going to copy two more beside this horn. This will form his shoulder spikes. Alright, now we're going to grab a couple of carotene horns, place this on the tip of the tail, and we're going to shape, bend, and scale as close as we can to Scratcher's picture. Alright, why don't we begin with adding some spikes onto Scratcher's legs. Let's begin with the upper thighs. Grab a pair of bone shards. Elongate the tip. Scale it down. And lessen the thickness. Go ahead and carry that over to the other leg. And then angle it, making it almost parallel to the shard on the front legs. Okay, now copy the top bone shard from the front leg down, and then shorten it. Then copy this one over and place it underneath the other bone shard on the other leg. Make slight adjustments if you need to. Alright, good. Now let's go ahead and put the small details behind Scratcher's lower legs. What I have here are horror lumps. We're going to scale it down really small and really thin them out. This part could take a long time, so be very patient. Basically, we're doing the same thing we did to the upper thighs. Lengthen and scale down the horror lumps as best you can. Copy them over and do the same thing to the lower lumps. They're going to be shorter, of course. And because they're shorter, they're going to be much harder to grasp onto. Again, be very patient with this step. Okay, very good. Now, after looking over your scratcher a little bit, we can go and splash some color. Go ahead and choose this theme for your scratcher. There it is. And then go ahead and choose this coat. Find it. There it is. And this gloss for your scratcher's detail. Okay, basically all the colors are tints and shades of red. Choose this really dark unsaturated red for the base. Now go and choose this highly saturated red. This will color his belly and the rest of his scales. And go ahead and choose this light unsaturated red. This will be the gloss that will complement the red that's already all over his body. And there you have it, Spore fans, your very own scratcher. Now what can you do with it? Well, for starters, we can start with this. Or this. Or we could start a tribe, make some new friends, and then start a war. We may also have them hold their first council meeting in establishing their first city-state, in which they may discuss on how to spread their wealth across the world. After bribing enough people with money and pie, go ahead and conquer the sky and everyone else. After uniting their people under one order, you may have them take off into the starry seas of outer space. Explore the vast mysteries of the Milky Way. Fight through atrocious enemies. Have one become a space captain. Have him make friends, and friends. You can resolve the feud between two families. Escort a lost girl through a cold space outpost. Protect an ancient temple, Spode. Destroy a weapon of mass collective destruction. or test your might against other Spore creatures. Whatever you want to do is up to you. You have finally created Scratcher, and his people's stories are yours. Well done, Spore fans. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. If you did, please comment, like, and sub below. And please stay tuned for future video game updates. This is XBS beaming up. So we for Okay, y'all. Peace.